My name is Emily Harper. I'm 27. Last Tuesday at 6:47 in the morning, I was standing in my Austin apartment bathroom holding a credit card statement that showed $847.23 in charges I never made. Staring at my mother's name listed as an authorized user on an account I'd never authorized her to access. My phone was ringing. "Mom," the screen said. "Fourth call in 12 minutes." I answered. "Emily, sweetie, Ryan needs you to cover his truck payment this month. Just $680. He's between jobs and—" "Mom," I said. My voice came out steady, which surprised me. "Did you add yourself to my visa without asking me?" Silence. Then, "Oh, honey, don't be dramatic. Family helps family. You're the strong one. You've always been the strong one." The strong one. She'd been saying that for 6 years, ever since Dad died. "The charges," I said. "Nordstrom, a spa day, $200 at Whole Foods." Emily Marie Harper. Her voice went cold. The way it did when I was 12 and questioned why Ryan got a car for his birthday and I got a used laptop. "I raised you better than this. After everything we've done for you. After we let you stay in this family." Let me stay. In my own family. "I need you to remove yourself from my card," I said. "Fine," she snapped. "Be selfish, just like your father said you'd be." She hung up. I sat down on the tile floor. My hands were shaking. Dad never said that. Dad never said anything like that. I opened my laptop right there, still in my pajamas, and did what I do best as a software engineer. I started tracking data. Before I go on, if stories about standing up for yourself mean something to you, please hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from right now and what time is it there. Let me take you back 8 years to the last normal day I had with my father. I was 19, home from UT Austin for spring break. Dad was in the garage workshop building a birdhouse, and I was sitting on his workbench drinking sweet tea that was too sweet because he always added an extra scoop of sugar. He said, not looking up from the wood he was sanding. "You're going to do big things. Write code that matters. Don't let anyone make you small." The garage smelled like sawdust and motor oil and his old spice deodorant. I can still smell it if I close my eyes. "Even family?" I asked. I was thinking about Mom, about how she'd spent the whole week asking me to talk sense into Dad about buying Ryan a new truck. Dad stopped sanding, looked at me directly. "Especially family. People who love you don't keep score. Remember that, Cricket." Cricket. He'd called me that since I was 4 because I asked too many questions. 3 weeks later, he had a heart attack while mowing the lawn, dead at 53. The birdhouse never got finished. At the funeral, Mom wore black Prada. I wore a Target dress. Ryan wore a suit that cost more than my entire semester's textbooks. "Your father would want us to be strong," Mom said at the reception, her hand on my shoulder, her grip tight enough to bruise. "You especially, Emily. You're the capable one." I was 19 and stupid and grieving, so I nodded. The first request came 2 months later. "Just help with Ryan's rent until he gets settled. $500 a month. Temporary." Temporary became 6 years. The spreadsheet I built that Tuesday morning started simple. 1 tab, Ryan's rent, $500 per month. Then I added the car insurance I'd been covering, $300 every month. Then the credit card minimum payments when he maxed out his cards, another $350 monthly. Then I remembered the kitchen remodel at Mom's house 2 years ago, the one where she said, "Can you help us out? Just this once?" $11,000, charged to my credit card, never paid back. The resort trip to Hilton Head last summer. Family bonding, Mom called it. I paid for Ryan, Jessica, and their 2 kids. I didn't go. Too much work. They posted 47 photos. I wasn't in any of them. $4,800. By 9:23 that morning, I had 12 pages. Rent, $100,800 over 6 years. Car insurance, $14,400. Credit card payments, $16,800. Kitchen remodel, $11,000. Resort, $4,800. Random emergencies, another $2,400. Total, $146,200, plus the $3,200 my mother had charged to my Visa in the past 4 months without asking. I sat there staring at the number. $149,400. Over 6 years. While I lived in a 650 square foot apartment with a broken dishwasher because I told myself I couldn't afford better. My phone buzzed. Group text. Harper fam. Jessica. Emily, can you watch the kids Saturday? Ryan and I have plans. Mom. Of course she will. She loves her niece and nephew. Ryan. Thanks, sis. You're the best. Not, can you, or, would you mind? Just, you will. I screenshot the conversation, added it to a new folder on my desktop. Evidence. Then I went to work. My manager, David Chen, found me at my desk at 10 p.m. that night, still coding, still building pivot tables, tracking every Venmo request, every temporary autopay I'd set up and never canceled. Harper, he said gently, go home. Almost done, I said. That's what you said at 6 o'clock. He pulled up a chair. David was 52, calm, had 3 daughters. What's going on? I didn't mean to tell him, but it came out, all of it. The money, the years, the you're the strong one. David listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, he said, do you have documentation? 12 pages worth. Good, keep it safe. People don't like being shown who they really are. I saved everything to 3 different cloud services that night. Saturday came. I didn't watch the kids. Sunday at 11 a.m., Mom called. Where were you yesterday? I had plans. What plans? You never have plans. Something in my chest cracked. I had plans, Mom. Well, you could have told us. Jessica had to cancel her spa day. Do you know how hard it is for her to get time for self-care with 2 kids? Jessica's spa days were twice a month. I knew because I'd paid for 3 of them. I'm sorry she had to cancel, I said. Calm. Even. Sorry doesn't help, Emily. Family shows up. Your father would be so disappointed. There it was again. Dad. Weaponized. Dad's not here to be disappointed, I said. Excuse me? He's dead, Mom. He's been dead for 8 years, and I don't think he'd be disappointed in me. She hung up. Tuesday, Ryan showed up at my office. I was in a code review meeting when the front desk called. Emily, there's someone here to see you. Ryan stood in the lobby wearing a Patagonia jacket I'd helped pay for, holding a Starbucks cold brew that cost $7.50. Can we talk? He said. We went outside. The Austin heat hit like a wall. It was 97 degrees. My shirt stuck to my back immediately. Mom's upset, Ryan said. Okay. She says you're being difficult. I said I had plans on Saturday. Yeah, but... He shifted his weight. Wouldn't look at me. We count on you, Em. You know that. You're the stable one. Stable, strong, capable. All words that meant the one who pays. I can't keep covering your rent, I said. His face changed. What? Or your insurance, or your credit cards. I can't do it anymore. Jesus, Emily. He laughed, but it wasn't a real laugh. It's not like you need the money. You make good money. You don't have kids. What else are you spending it on? That's not the point. Then what is the point? His voice rose. 2 people walking into the building turned to look. Huh? You want to count every dollar? You want to be that person? My face burned. I could feel my pulse in my teeth. I've given you over $100,000 in 6 years, I said quietly. Bullshit. I have spreadsheets. He stared at me. You've been Tracking it? Like some kind of accountant? I'm a software engineer. I track data. It's what I do. That's sick, Emily. That's actually sick. Family doesn't keep score. He walked away, got in his truck, the truck I'd helped make 3 payments on when he was between jobs. I went back inside, sat in the bathroom stall for 14 minutes. Didn't cry, just sat there. David found me at my desk an hour later. You okay? My brother just called me sick for tracking how much money I've given him. How much? $146,200, not counting the unauthorized charges. David's eyebrows went up. Emily, I know. That's not family, that's exploitation. I'd never heard anyone say it out loud before. 3 days later, Mom showed up at my apartment. 7:30 p.m. I was eating leftover pad thai and reviewing pull requests. She didn't knock. She had a key. I'd given it to her for emergencies 3 years ago. She'd used it 6 times. Never for emergencies. We need to talk, she said. You can't just walk in here, Mom. It's an emergency. She sat on my couch, the one I'd bought secondhand because I told myself I couldn't afford new furniture. Ryan told me what you said. About the money. It's true. No, honey. You're confused. You've helped out here and there, sure, but you're exaggerating. I have bank statements. Her mouth tightened. Family helps family, Emily. I raised you to be generous. You raised me to be a bank account. How dare you? She stood up. Her voice went sharp. After everything I've done for you, after I clothed you, fed you, put a roof over your head, until I was 18. That's called being a parent. You ungrateful. She stopped, took a breath. When she spoke again, her voice was different, softer, dangerous. Your father would be ashamed. Stop saying that. It's true. He always said you were too focused on money, too calculating. He worried about you. Dad never said that. He did, to me, many times. She moved toward the door. You've changed, Emily. You've become cold, selfish. I don't even recognize you anymore. She left, took her key with her. I didn't ask for it back. I sat on my couch in the apartment I could barely afford because I'd been funding my family's lifestyle for 6 years, and I thought, she's lying. Dad never talked about me like that. Never. But what if he had? I opened my laptop, found the folder labeled Dad. Photos, mostly, his obituary, the funeral program, and a video file I'd forgotten I had. My freshman year of college, I'd done a project interviewing family members. Dad had been my subject. I'd asked him about his life, his advice, his hopes. I clicked play. Dad's face filled the screen. Younger, healthier, alive. What do you hope for Emily's future? 19-year-old me asked off camera. Dad smiled. I hope she knows her worth. I hope she builds things that matter. And I hope she never lets anyone, not friends, not boyfriends, not even family, make her feel like she has to earn love. Love isn't earned, it's given freely, or it's not love at all. I watched it 3 times. Then I made a new folder. Legal. The next morning, I called the Employee Assistance Program through work, got a referral to a lawyer who specialized in financial elder abuse and family exploitation. Her name was Patricia Voss. Her office was in downtown Austin, 19th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Colorado River. Tell me everything, she said. I showed her the spreadsheets, the bank statements, the auto-pay records, the screenshots of group chats where they assigned me financial tasks without asking, the credit card showing my mother as an unauthorized user. Patricia was quiet for a long time. This is financial exploitation, she finally said. And the credit card situation is fraud. Your mother added herself without your written consent. That's identity theft. Can I get the money back? Unlikely. Unless you're willing to press charges, and even then, it's complicated. They'll claim it was all gifts. Voluntary. It wasn't voluntary. I believe you. But proving coercion is difficult. She tapped her pen against her desk. However, we can stop it from continuing. We can send a formal cease and desist. We can help you remove her from all accounts. We can— What about my dad? I interrupted. Your dad? He died 8 years ago. Left everything to my mom. But she keeps saying he'd be disappointed in me, that he thought I was selfish. And I know that's not true. Patricia's expression softened. Do you have any documentation? Letters, videos, anything? A video from college where he says love isn't earned. That's good. Keep it safe. And Emily? She leaned forward. People who exploit others always invoke the dead. It's a power move. The dead can't defend themselves, and they can't contradict the lies. I left her office with a plan. Remove Mom from all accounts. Cancel all autopays. Stop covering anyone else's bills. Send a formal letter outlining the money owed and the expectation that it stops. And wait. Because Patricia said, people like your mother don't stop until they're forced to. There will be an escalation. Be ready. The escalation came 6 days later. I was at H-E-B grocery shopping when I heard, Emily Harper? I turned. Ashley Morrison. She'd been in Ryan's class in high school. We'd been friendly, hadn't talked in years. Oh my God, hi, she said. Then her face changed. I'm so sorry about your dad. That was 8 years ago, but thank you. No, I mean, isn't he sick again? I saw your mom's Facebook post about needing help with medical bills. My stomach dropped. What? She pulled out her phone, showed me. Mom's Facebook posted 4 hours ago. Heartbroken to share that Michael is in the hospital again. It's been a difficult journey and the medical bills are overwhelming. Emily has been wonderful, but she can't do it alone. Any support is appreciated. Venmo. At Susan Harper 77. Please share. Michael. My dead father's name. Ashley, I said carefully. My dad died 8 years ago. Her face went white. But the post says, it's not true. I don't know what she's talking about. Oh my God. I sent $50. Do you think— I did think. I knew exactly what was happening. I screenshot the post, sent it to Patricia with the message, this is the escalation. Then I called Mom. Hi, sweetie, she answered. Cheerful, like nothing was wrong. Take down the Facebook post. What post? The one asking for money for Dad's medical bills. Dad's dead, Mom. Oh, that. It's just a little fundraiser. For Ryan's medical bills. He had to go to urgent care last week, strep throat. You know how expensive. You use Dad's name. You're telling people he's alive and sick. It's a mix-up, an autocorrect thing. Take it down, now, or I'm reporting it as fraud. Silence. You wouldn't. Try me. She hung up. The post was down in 7 minutes, but the damage was done. 3 people had Venmo'd her. Total, $175. I sat in the H-E-B parking lot for 20 minutes. The sun was setting, the sky was orange and purple and beautiful, and I couldn't feel anything except this hollow certainty that my mother would burn my entire life down before she'd admit she was wrong. That night, I got a call from Aunt Linda, Dad's sister. She lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. We talked maybe twice a year, birthdays and Christmas. Emily, she said, no preamble. I saw Susan's post before she deleted it. It was a lie. I know. Your father has been dead for 8 years. What the hell is she doing? And something in me broke. Not shattered, just opened. She's been using me, I said. For money. For 6 years. Over $146,000. And now she's lying about Dad to get more. Aunt Linda was quiet for a long moment. Your father told me this would happen. What? Before he died, he said Susan would use you. He said she already was. Her voice cracked. He tried to stop it, Em. He tried to set up protections, but he ran out of time. What kind of protections? I don't know the details, but he had a lawyer, James Whitaker, in Charlotte. He told me if Susan ever went too far, to tell you to call James. She gave me the number. I called the next morning. James Whitaker's assistant said he'd been waiting for my call for 8 years. 2 weeks later, I flew to Charlotte. James Whitaker's office was in a historic brick building in Dilworth. He was 70, bald, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. "Your father was a good man," he said, "and he knew your mother better than she thought he did." He handed me a manila envelope, thick, sealed with red wax. He left instructions. "I was to give this to you only under specific circumstances. Financial exploitation was one of them." My hands shook as I opened it. Inside, a letter, handwritten, Dad's handwriting, and underneath, bank statements, legal documents, notarized affidavits. "Take your time," James said, and left the room. I read, "Dear Cricket, if you're reading this, then I'm gone, and your mother is doing exactly what I was afraid she'd do. I'm sorry. I should have protected you better. I tried, but I didn't have enough time. I knew she would use you. She used me for 25 years. She used Ryan. She's incapable of seeing people as anything other than resources. And you, sweet girl, are the most generous resource she's ever had access to. I've been documenting everything for 3 years. Since you turned 16 and she started talking about how you'd help the family once you had a real job. I have records of every time she pressured you for money in front of me, recordings of conversations where she said Ryan deserved more because he was the son. Bank statements showing she drained my personal account to fund her lifestyle, a notarized statement from my cardiologist confirming she knew about my heart condition and still insisted I work overtime to pay for her kitchen renovation. Witness statements from Aunt Linda and 3 other people who heard her call you the strong one and laugh about how easy you were to manipulate. There's also $30,000 in a separate account. It's yours, not hers, not Ryan's, yours. James has the account information. It won't replace what she'll take from you. But it's something. Do you remember what I told you in the garage? People who love you don't keep score. Your mother keeps score of everything except what she takes. That's not love, Cricket. That's accounting. You are not the strong one. You are the kind one. Don't let her turn your kindness into a weakness. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'm sorry I'm not there to tell her to leave you alone. All my love, Dad. P.S. The birdhouse is in the garage. Finish it if you want. Or don't. You don't owe me anything either. I read it 4 times. Then I looked at the bank statements. They were detailed, highlighted, annotated in Dad's handwriting. Susan withdrew $400, told Emily it was for groceries, spent it at casino. Susan insisted on new car, said it was emergency, bought luxury SUV. Susan told Emily she'd pay her back for homecoming dress. Never did. Emily never asked twice. Page after page, years of documentation. And at the bottom, a post-it note in Dad's handwriting. "She'll say I'd be ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of her." James came back in. "You okay?" "He knew," I whispered. "He knew. He tried to divorce her twice. She threatened to take everything, including you and Ryan. He stayed to protect you." James sat down across from me. "He wanted me to wait until you were ready, until you'd figured it out on your own. He said you needed to see it yourself, or you'd never believe it." "What do I do with this?" "That's up to you. But your mother is planning something. Susan called me last month asking about your father's will, asking if there were any amendments, any secret provisions." "What did you tell her?" "Nothing. But she knows something exists. She's going to push. And when she does, you'll have to decide. Do you show her this? Or do you walk away quietly?" I flew back to Austin that night, sat in my apartment with the envelope on my coffee table. I didn't tell anyone. Not David, not Patricia, not Aunt Linda. I just waited. The push came 3 weeks later. Mom called. "Emily, I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year. Family dinner. Everyone's coming. I expect you'll be there." "I'm not sure. It's not optional. Family comes first. Your father would want us together. Something in her voice, brittle, desperate. Okay, I said. Good. And Emily? Bring your checkbook. Ryan's truck broke down. He needs $2,400 for repairs. No. Silence. Excuse me? No, Mom. I'm not giving Ryan money for his truck. Emily Marie? I'll come to Thanksgiving, but I'm not giving anyone money. Not anymore. She hung up. Thanksgiving was in Charlotte, at Mom's house. A white colonial with black shutters and a perfectly manicured lawn that I'd helped pay to maintain. I drove 12 hours, got there at 4 p.m. on Thursday. The house was full. Ryan and Jessica. Their kids, Maddie, 6, and Connor, 4. Jessica's parents, Mom's friend Carol, and Aunt Linda, who answered the door. You came, Linda said. I came. Did you bring it? It's in my car. She squeezed my hand. Your father would be proud. Dinner was at 6 o'clock. Turkey, stuffing, the whole production. 22 people crammed around the extended dining table. Mom sat at the head. I was at the far end, between Connor and Jessica's father, who talked about golf for 40 minutes. At 7:15, as people were finishing pie, Mom stood up. I just want to say, she began, her voice carrying, how grateful I am to have all of you here. Family is everything. Michael knew that. He built this family on love and sacrifice. People nodded, smiled. And I want to especially thank Emily. She looked directly at me. Who has always been so generous, so giving, the strong one, just like her father. Aunt Linda's jaw tightened. In fact, Mom continued, Emily has been so generous that she's agreed to help Ryan with his truck repairs. $2,400. Because that's what family does. Everyone looked at me. No, I haven't, I said quietly. Mom's smile froze. What? I haven't agreed to that. Emily, we discussed this. You told me to bring my checkbook. I said no. Her face changed. The smile vanished. Someone's being dramatic again. That phrase. I'd heard it 100 times. 1,000. Aunt Linda stood up. Susan, that's enough. Linda, stay out of this. No, Linda's voice was steel. I've stayed out of it for 8 years. I promised Michael I'd wait until Emily was ready. She's ready. The room went silent. Mom's face paled. What are you talking about? I stood up, pulled my laptop from my bag. The room was set up perfectly. Mom's 65-inch TV mounted on the wall, connected to her laptop for showing family photos after dinner. I disconnected her laptop, connected mine. What are you doing? Mom demanded. Showing everyone what family actually means in this house. I opened my spreadsheet, projected it on the 65-inch screen. Emily's contributions to Harper family. 6-year summary. Ryan's rent, $100,800. Ryan's car insurance, $14,400. Ryan's credit card payments, $16,800. Kitchen remodel, $11,000. Hilton Head resort trip, $4,800. Emergency loans, $2,400. Total, $146,200. Plus unauthorized credit card charges by Susan Harper, $3,200. Grand total, $149,400. The room was dead silent. Emily, Mom said, her voice shaking, this is inappropriate. I also have this. I pulled up the screenshot. Mom's Facebook post from 3 weeks ago asking for money for Dad's medical bills. Dad died 8 years ago. Gasps. Actual gasps. Carol's hand flew to her mouth. Jessica's parents looked at each other. Ryan stared at the screen like he'd never seen numbers before. And I have these. I opened the folder James had given me. Bank statements showing Mom withdrew money from Dad's personal account without permission. Recordings of conversations where she called me easy to manipulate. And this, I pulled up the letter. Dad's handwriting filled the screen. This is a letter from Dad, written 3 months before he died. To me, held by his lawyer, James Whitaker, with instructions to give it to me if Mom ever financially exploited me. I didn't read the whole thing, just one part. Your mother keeps score of everything except what she takes. That's not love, Cricket. That's accounting. Mom's face drained of all color. That's forged. Michael never. It's notarized, Aunt Linda said. I witnessed it. So did James. So did Michael's cardiologist, who also signed a statement confirming that Susan knew about Michael's heart condition and still pressured him to work overtime to pay for her renovations. Ryan found his voice. This is insane. You're making it sound like I've been funding your entire life for 6 years? I have been. I looked at him directly. Your rent, your insurance, your credit cards, your truck payments, all of it, while I lived in a 650 square foot apartment and told myself I couldn't afford better. Jessica spoke up, her voice small. We didn't know. Yes, you did, I said. Not angry, just factual. Every time Mom said Emily will handle it in the group chat, you knew. Every time you asked me to babysit so you could go to the resort I paid for, you knew. You just didn't care. Mom slammed her hand on the table. How dare you come into my home and humiliate me? Your home that I helped maintain, I said. Your kitchen that I remodeled. Your lifestyle that I funded. You offered. You wanted to help. Did I? I clicked to another screenshot. The group chat. Here's a message from you, Mom. Emily will cover Ryan's rent. She already agreed. I never agreed. You never asked. You just told me I would, and I did, because you raised me to believe that saying no made me a bad daughter. Aunt Linda walked over, stood beside me. Susan, stop. It's over. Emily has documentation. She has witnesses. She has Michael's letter. The only thing you can do now is admit what you've done. Mom looked around the table, at the faces staring at her, at Ryan, whose face had gone red, at the spreadsheet on the screen showing $149,400. You're ungrateful, she said finally, her voice venomous. After everything I did for you, fed you, clothed you, raised you, until I was 18, that's called being a parent, not a creditor. Michael would be ashamed. Read the letter, Mom. I pointed to the screen. Dad was ashamed. Of you. Something broke in her then. She started crying. I needed help. After Michael died, I needed help. Ryan needed help. I'm a widow. I'm alone. You're the strong one, Emily. You were supposed to take care of us. I did take care of you. For 6 years. I gave you $149,400. I gave you my 20s. I gave you my financial stability. And you never once said thank you. You never once asked if I was okay. You just took. What do you want? She whispered. You want me to pay you back? I don't have that kind of money. I know you don't. Because you spent it. I closed my laptop. I'm not here for money, Mom. I'm here to tell you it stops. Today. Right now. I've removed you from all my accounts. I've canceled all auto pays. I've sent a legal cease and desist letter. If you use my name, my credit, or my identity in any way without written permission, I'll press charges for fraud. Emily, please. I'm also removing myself from the family group chat, from family obligations, from the expectation that I'll show up and pay and smile while you treat me like an ATM with a heartbeat. Ryan stood up. You can't just walk away from family. Yes, I can. Watch me. I unplugged my laptop, picked up my bag. Aunt Linda followed me to the door. You okay? I don't know yet. Your father would be proud, Cricket. I started crying then. Not sad crying, just release. I drove back to Austin that night. 12 hours. Got home at 7 a.m. Friday. Slept for 14 hours. Woke up to 47 missed calls. 23 from Mom. 18 from Ryan, 6 from Jessica. I deleted the family group chat, blocked Mom's number, blocked Ryan's, kept Linda's. Over the next 3 weeks, I heard through Linda what happened. Mom told everyone I'd lied, that the spreadsheet was fabricated, that Dad's letter was forged. But Carol had been there. Jessica's parents had been there. They'd seen the numbers. They'd seen the letter in Dad's handwriting. Carol stopped talking to Mom. Jessica's parents asked Ryan why he'd never mentioned that I was paying his rent. Ryan and Jessica moved to a smaller apartment, one they could actually afford. Mom tried to get James Whitaker to admit he'd conspired with me. He sent her a cease and desist letter of her own. She showed up at my apartment once. I called the police. She left before they arrived. Never came back. 6 months later, I moved. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. A 2-bedroom apartment in South Austin. Hardwood floors, a dishwasher that worked, a balcony overlooking Zilker Park. I furnished it slowly. Actual furniture, not secondhand, not good enough for now. I bought a desk, a real one. Set up my coding station with 2 monitors and a plant that Dad would have liked. A fern. He loved ferns. And I finished the birdhouse. Aunt Linda had shipped it to me. The pieces Dad had cut but never assembled. I followed his pencil marks, his measurements. It wasn't perfect, but it was done. I hung it on my balcony. 2 weeks later, a Carolina wren moved in. I named her Cricket. Every morning, I have coffee on that balcony. Watch the sun rise over the park. Listen to Cricket sing. I don't think about the money anymore. It's gone. I've made peace with that. What I think about is this. For 6 years, I believed that being strong meant carrying everyone else's weight. That being kind meant saying yes. That being family meant never asking, "What about me?" I was wrong. Being strong means knowing when to put the weight down. Being kind means being kind to yourself first. And being family means showing up for people who show up for you. The people who love you don't keep score. But they also don't make you the only one paying. Linda comes to visit next month. We're going to plant a garden on my balcony. Tomatoes, basil, maybe some jasmine. Not because I owe her, because I want to, because that's what family actually means. If you've ever had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping yourself, type, "I chose myself" in the comments. Or if you're still trying to figure out how to make that choice, type, "I'm still learning." Both are brave. Both are valid. If this story meant something to you, check the description for more stories just like this one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.